Lightning Crashes by Live. Really nice song. Basic chords. Capo fret 2 should sound something like this. Now the original should be played in a different key. In other words, this over here has to come off. That's a capo. You get all different types of shapes and sizes. And it should actually be something like this. Okay, you're going to have. But to make it easier, we're going to put the capo at the 2nd fret. Make sure it's nice and close to the fret over here, because if it's over here, it sort of gives the illusion of a fret. It gets confusing and also sometimes bends the strings. So capo fret number 2. We're going to focus on your fretting hand. Look at the basic chords for those that are starting guitar. Cool song to start with. So for those that are new to guitar, D chord, finger 1 and 2 in the 2nd fret after your capo. So there's your new fret 1, there's your fret 2, fingers 1 and 2 on strings 3 and 1, and your ring finger goes to string number 2 in the 3rd fret, and for the D chord, you're strumming from the 4th string down. Following up, we got the chord A, fingers 1, 2 and 3, all in the 2nd fret. And I personally find that fingers 1 and 2, because I've got fat little fingers, they don't fit in very nicely. So I like swapping fingers 1 and 2 around. So there's the traditional A chord, fingers 1, 2, and 3, all in a row in the fret 2, strings 4 to 2. But I like swapping fingers 1 and 2. It gives me a little bit more space. Whichever A you like, cool. Okay, the diagrams are on the PDF as well. And the E chord, finger 1, fret 1, 3rd string from the bottom, fingers 2 and 3 go onto the 2nd fret, 5th and 4th string accordingly, and that's the E chord. Now for the strumming pattern, we need to bring in our strumming hand. And the trick for this song, it's a very slow song, so be careful you don't go too fast by accident. The counting is underneath the strumming pattern. The down arrow means strumming down, the up arrow means strum up, so it basically indicates the direction of our strumming. And you're going to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that last little and, I'm breaking up the word and into 2 syllables, and, to help me get the speed. So your rhythm is very, very important, and because it's a slow song, it gives us time to focus on it. Again, it's going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or if you want to put it into direction, it's down, up, down, down, up, like that. Okay, let's try together. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4, and we've got the basic rhythm. That's 1 bar. On your PDF, you'll notice the next chord is an A, and the cool thing about this is, what's my changeover from my D to my A? Finger 1 doesn't have to move. My middle finger jumps over, and the ring finger then pulls back into the corner. You can see it. But like I said, if you favor your A like that, that's also quite acceptable. I like this changeover personally, but that changeover also cool. Okay, back to A. We now strum from the 5th string, which is the dark blue dot in your PDF, and that's going to continue 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you got your rhythm for that as well. So let's try the D and the A together, both chords. Are you ready for the D and the A? 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then we go to the E chord. First finger simply slides back if you're doing my preferred way of the A, and then fingers 2 and 3 simply jump up like that. There's your E chord. And we need 2 bars of E, because if you look at the 2nd row, you'll see E is written twice. So E is going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you simply play it through. The song is slow, like we said in the beginning. Be careful not to pick up speed. It's very tempting when it gets going to pick up speed. But let's try and take the whole thing through now twice in a row, and you can play along with me. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. Okay, now for the advanced players, I'm going to take you through the other chords that you can play if you don't have a capo. And for those that are wanting to learn some new chord voicing, this will be a good part for you to have a look at as well. So you're going to focus once more onto your fretting hand. Step 1, no capo. Okay, so all the D's now become an E. So the capo converted my D to sound like an E. So now my D's are E's. My A's are now going to become B's, which should look like this as a bar chord. I've got a pinky that goes nice and flat, so you can see my pinky there is actually bending backwards. Come a bit closer, you can see his pinky's flat across strings 4, 3 and 2, but this is the more traditional way of playing B as a bar chord. And then my E has to become an F sharp, which will then look like this as a bar chord. Or you can play it sort of looking like an F chord, but you simply slide an upper fret, you've sharpened F, F becomes F sharp, and then I bring my third finger up and put the pinky in its place, that's F sharp. So my new chords are going to be A, now I said A by accident, I should have said E. Okay, so it's E, A becomes a B, and E becomes a F sharp. So let's try it again. You've got your new E if you want to try this over here, and then change to the B. Remember I said I like the pinky going flat, but if you want to do this as a bar chord, quite acceptable, and F sharp like this, or we can do the alternate voicing as well. Let's do it now, E, B, and F sharp together twice in a row. 2 and 3 and 4 and... And there you have it, but we're going to continue the rest of the video with capo on fret number 2. Okay, so if you got your capo back, we're now going to take you through some more of the song. For the pre-chorus, when he sings, "Oh, now feel it coming back again," he basically changes the rhythm a little bit to something like this. And the rhythm pattern's slightly different. Down, 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 down. So he's sort of playing each bar half as long. So same chords, same sequence, he just doubles up the timing. In other words, he plays twice as quick. And I want you to improvise your rhythm with this as well. If you get a bit stuck on how to improvise your rhythm, please send me a WhatsApp or a message or something, and I'll try and help you to get into improvising your own rhythms, because to write down every single rhythm that he does throughout the song is going to take a lot of writing. Okay, but as the song unfolds, it gets more and more busy. So the part we've just done now is around about 2 minutes into the song. From there it goes back into a verse again, and then he has a more aggressive, where a bit of an overdrive comes in as well, and the rhythm gets really more sort of busier as you go through the song, but the chords are the same. Now there is one more change coming up with the F sharp minor and the E. I'm going to first show you what the chords look like. Now this part comes into play about 3 minutes and 32 seconds or so, somewhere along there on your timeline if you're YouTubing it. There's an F sharp minor at the end of verse 3, and it means your first finger goes flat across all 3 strings in the second fret after the capo. The diagram on your PDF is there. Ring finger goes to fret 4, string 4, and this is F sharp minor. Or if you want to, you can go into a bar chord, which means the first finger is flat across all 6, fingers 3 and 4, and strings 5 and 4 accordingly for it as well. So that's your plan B. So you can do F minor like this, F sharp minor, sorry, or like that as a bar chord. And it says there as well, the instructions are there, F sharp minor, E, F sharp minor, E, 4 times in a row. Then it goes to D and E, which you know. Now before I finish off the video, I want to quickly just guide you through the distortion overdrive we spoke about earlier. And the overdrive with the rhythm hand should sound something like this. Switch the overdrive on. And you should recognize that rhythm from the pre-chorus as well. It's the busier part we spoke about. before we looked into the F sharp minor. The D overdrive, instead of playing D like this, just play fingers 1 and 2, much easier. Strum strings 4, 3 and 2. So you need to make sure your strumming hand has got a very limited strum. Not a while, this is bad, because it gets all noisy. So it's D, the A, finger 1 flat, strumming strings 5, 4 and 3. And then your E, which is going to be on top, strings 6, 5 and 4. So again, D, A and E. So if you're jamming with a friend and one of you happen to have an electric guitar, other one acoustic, maybe try the one on clear sound, the other one overdrive that I'm using now, and it sounds really cool together to lift the song up. So the secret for this song is the emotion behind the vocals, really emotional song, and also the dynamics, the loud and the quiet of the song. It starts very, very quiet, very relaxed, and builds up to a crescendo of sound. So listen to the dynamics, feel the song get louder, feel it go quiet, and get to improvise on your rhythms as we spoke about earlier. If you get stuck with improvising your own rhythms, creating your own rhythms, give me a shout, happy to help. Otherwise, enjoy Lightning Crashes.